Nicole Anastasia Homenuk. Each of my three names has a special meaning, and it means that it is just me. I'm very unique in my name because there is no other with the same name. Let's start with my last name. It's Homenuk. Homenuk is Ukrainian and not Eskimo. I've certainly had people ask me before if my last name was Eskimo. I think they think of the Eskimo name Nanuk and think of Homenuk, but that's not true. I'm a quarter Ukrainian. Now, a lot of people don't think that I'm Ukrainian because of my appearance. A lot of people think with a darker skin and curly hair that it could be Spanish or African American, but that's not true. I'm Caucasian. Now, Homenuk in Ukraine was originally in the Cyrillic alphabet. I couldn't actually find what that was with a translation, but it did start out Cyrillic. In the 1880s, some of the Homenuks moved to Canada. When they moved to Canada, they renamed it, and that's Homenuk. Now, the Homenuks that went to Canada were actually two brothers and their families. In the 1920s, and we're thinking it's 1921, one of the brothers took his family down to the United States. And that's when he changed the spelling to what my last name is now, and that's Homenuk. And that would be my great-great-grandfather. There's still a lot of homenuks in Canada right now, and there's one famous homenuk, and that is Wilfred Homenuk, who was a famous golfer. He was born in 1935 and won 7 Canadian Opens and 3 World Cups. I have no idea what the original homenuks, what their occupations were. We don't have a lot of information because my paternal grandfather died when my father was very young, so we didn't get a lot of the genealogy or history of the family. As far as I know, Homenuk is not a place, or trade, or occupation, or physical appearance. What I do know is Homenuk is very unusual in the United States. My spelling, at least. The only Homenuks I've ever met were my direct family members. Now, the homenuks, which are in Canada, there's plenty of them. Now, Anastasia. Anastasia is my middle name. It is of Greek origin, and it means resurrection. A lot of people think it's Russian, and I will tell you why in a second. Now, behind me I put the different spellings of Anastasia, and there are about 50 different spellings for Anastasia. I use the most common one, which is Anastasia. My middle name is Anastasia because I was named after my Aunt Stacy, who, surprisingly, I didn't even know her real name was Anastasia up until about 10 years ago. She lives in Ohio, and she's my father's youngest sister. He really admires her. Now, if you look up Anastasia in the dictionary, the first thing that's going to pop up is Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanov, who was the daughter of the Russian Tsar Nicholas II. Now, the story of Anastasia is one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. What happened was the Bolshevik army captured the Tsar Nicholas II, his wife, and their 5 children. One night in July 1918, they killed the entire family by firing squad. But for some reason, there was rumors that Anastasia and Alexei, the youngest brother, escaped the firing squad. Now, they made movies out of it and stories, and a lot of people claimed to be Anastasia. And the most famous one was Ann Anderson. Now, she claimed to be Anastasia most of her life. Some people believed her, some people didn't. In 1984, she was cremated after she died, and DNA testing disproved her claim that she was Anastasia. In 2008, there was a second burial ground, which was close to the burial ground of Nicholas II, his wife, and 3 of their children. They found the second one, and DNA proved that it was Anastasia and Alexei. So, she unfortunately did not escape. Now, my first name is Nicole. It's of Greek origin, and it means victory of the people. There are many variant spellings and nicknames. It's fairly common, and usually in each of my classes there's either 1 or even 2 other Nicoles in the class. Now, I prefer Nikki just because that's what my friends have always called me. To my family, I'm also known as Nicole, Coley, or Cole. And sometimes it's a little strange when they try to call me Nikki just because I'm known as Nicole to them. Nicole is not a generational name. There is no other family members, direct family members, that have the same name Nicole. There's a few extended, like second cousins and so on. And that is my names. I hope you enjoy.